Margaret Linton stood at the foot of the stairs, gripping the handrail with one trembling hand. The groceries sat on the kitchen table, unpacked. Her legs, once her proudest asset as a young dancer, now quivered under her slight frame. At 74, she could still recall the feeling of powerful movement, her calves tightening, her thighs pressing against the floor with precision. But now, her legs ached after short walks, threatened to buckle on uneven ground, and complained each time she stood up. "I'm losing strength," she murmured, sitting down slowly. Her doctor called it age-related muscle decline, sarcopenia. But Margaret didn't like labels. What she did like was control. She had managed a household, raised 3 children, and organized community events for decades. So when her legs began to give out, she didn't accept it as fate. She dove into research. It turned out much of her strength loss wasn't inevitable. And it wasn't just about exercise. What she ate played a bigger role than she ever imagined. That evening, she made a list. Top 10 foods for stronger legs, she titled it, determined to rebuild from the ground up, literally. 1. Eggs, the foundation of muscle. Margaret began each day with 2 boiled eggs. Packed with protein, vitamin D, and B vitamins, they offered the fuel her muscles craved. She noticed after just 2 weeks that she could stand longer at the counter without fatigue. More than that, she felt full, energized. 2. Spinach, the nitrate boost. She hadn't eaten spinach regularly since the 90s, but the leafy green was rich in magnesium, potassium, and dietary nitrates, compounds that help blood flow to the muscles. She added it to omelets, tossed it into soups, and blended it into smoothies. She loved how her legs felt less crampy after walks. 3. Salmon, the inflammation fighter. Every Wednesday, Margaret prepared grilled salmon with lemon and dill. The omega-3 fatty acids in the fish not only fought inflammation, which worsens muscle fatigue, but also supported joint health. Her knees, once stiff after sitting, now moved more freely. 4. Greek yogurt, the recovery king. Margaret made Greek yogurt her go-to snack. Rich in protein and calcium, it supported both muscle fibers and bones. She added a handful of walnuts and blueberries for extra antioxidants. Her leg soreness after gardening eased over time. 5. Sweet potatoes. The endurance fuel carbs weren't the enemy, she learned. They were essential, especially for seniors. Sweet potatoes, packed with complex carbs and potassium, became her favorite side dish. Baked, mashed, or cubed in stews, they helped replenish energy and prevent the mid-afternoon crashes that used to send her to the couch. 6. Chicken thighs, the lean protein power tear. She switched from deli meats to freshly cooked chicken thighs, skinless, seasoned, and grilled. High in muscle-building protein and iron, they supported daily repair. She began to feel stronger walking upstairs, something that had started to intimidate her. 7. Beets, the circulation supporter. It took time to get used to the earthy taste, but roasted beets became a twice-weekly feature. Like spinach, they were high in nitrates, improving blood flow and oxygen delivery to her legs. She noticed her feet didn't go numb as often when sitting, and standing up no longer made her dizzy. 8. Cottage cheese, the slow-burn protein. Before bed, Margaret had half a cup of cottage cheese. Casein protein found in this dairy food digests slowly overnight and feeds muscles during sleep. She woke up less stiff. Her morning routine became smoother, standing, dressing, and even reaching for things without strain. 9. Almonds, the magnesium mender. She kept a small container of almonds in her handbag. Magnesium, crucial for muscle contractions, was abundant in these nuts. Just a handful a day improved her energy and reduced the restless leg feeling she got at night. 10. Lentils, the plant-based workhorse. Lentils were new for her, but she embraced them with an open mind. They were rich in iron, protein, and fiber. A warm lentil salad or hearty soup filled her up without weighing her down. She even shared the recipe with her neighbor, who had also been complaining of weak legs. As the weeks passed, something shifted. It wasn't just physical, though her strength was returning. It was mental, too. Margaret felt in control again, empowered. She walked more, took shorter naps, even resumed her old yoga stretches, using a chair for support. One crisp morning, she met her daughter Kate for coffee. As she stood from the cafe chair without a groan, Kate raised an eyebrow. "You look different," she said. Margaret smiled. "Stronger. I've been feeding my legs." Kate laughed. "Feeding your legs?" "Yes," Margaret said, leaning forward. "Everything starts with fuel. I didn't realize how much power food had over how I moved, how I felt. I was starving my strength without knowing it. That night, Margaret rewrote her list, not just for herself, but for others. She printed copies and brought them to her book club, then the senior center. Her list didn't promise miracles, but it offered hope. Now, on most mornings, you could find Margaret walking the block with her neighbor June. Their pace wasn't fast, but it was steady. Every step a quiet celebration, every meal a strategy. She discovered the secret wasn't some new supplement or a fancy exercise machine. It was on her plate, waiting patiently to be chosen. Food had given her legs back their life and given her back her independence.